Good morning and welcome. It is 9 o'clock. It is the 15th day of September 2021. I am your number one guide to all the tabletop role-playing game news, weather, and sports, the OGGM. It's Wednesday, at least in most parts of the world, which means it's time to take a look at what's going on in the world. It's hard to believe I have a degree in communication and theater, isn't it? Considering how often I can't talk. It's time to take a look at everything that's going on in the world of crowdfunding. The following crowdfunding projects are coming to an end this week, and if any of them sound like something you want to support, head on over to your friendly local game store, that's Cess Games and Anime here in Ventura, and ask them to look into it for you. From a company called XP to Level 3 for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, we have a source book called Quest Onomicon. Most popular pledge for this is $55, and the book offers 10 stories and 30 adventures for 5E. From a company called Dreamplot for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, we have Peculiar Discoveries, a magic item and companions for 5E. Most popular pledge is $60. This offers up to 320 5e magic items, and the Kickstarter support pack includes some cards, some dice, what looks like a dice bag, some maps, some cardboard cutout figures, PDF, and some other stuff. So a lot of nice stuff for that $60 pledge. From a company called Dungeons & Randomness, we have for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, The Adventurer's Guide to Theria Volume 2, which means there is a Adventurer's Guide to Theria Volume 1 out there somewhere. And I don't know what that is. I may have mentioned it before. The most popular pledge for this is $50. This is the second book detailing the world of Theria. This one focuses on a different continent and all the things that you can encounter in that part of the world. From Clawhammer Games, we have Gravemire, an original system. Oh, thank God, not another 5e product. Sorry, I'm being opinionated. The most popular pledge for Gravemire is $20, and this dice RPG system uses a D12 system. Wow! Nice to give the D12 a little love every now and then. That lets you navigate through a monster-infested 1890s Louisiana bayou. Wow, how specific. Okay. From Eric Alcindor and Spider Ox, we have Rain in Blood, a Mothership adventure Antagonist sourcebook. Wow, some stuff from Mothership. There's a name we haven't heard in a while. This zine-size RPG product is for the Mothership role-playing game. Its most popular pledge is $15, and this offers some new adventures and supplements for the Mothership sci-fi horror role-playing game. I have Mothership. It's a little overly complicated, but I do like it. You know, horror space is interesting. It's not that expensive of a game, and it's a different take. So if you haven't picked up Mothership yet, you can pick it up and take a look. It is very fun and interesting and different. And speaking of Mothership, we have from Leeline Press Andromeda, a module for the Mothership sci-fi role-playing game. The most popular pledge for this is $15, and this is a sci-fi horror adventure zine set aboard a space station called Andromeda. From Yogdur Games, we have Tomb of Annihilation for the Teeny D6 RPG system. The most popular pledge for this is $8, and the campaign brings you the Tomb of Immolate. God, I have not had enough caffeine this morning, or maybe I've had too much. The Tomb of Annihilation adventure to the Gallant Knight Games Teeny Dungeons 2E. This is obviously a fantasy role-playing game adventure with a name like Tomb of Immolation. I'm going to say it's something to do with fire. And probably built in the same veins of the Tomb of Horrors. Now we have the newest category in crowdfunding, location-based Kickstarters. So this is you supporting the possibility of a convention or a game store or something being built somewhere. So this week's location-based crowdfunding Kickstarters project, we have Mana Games Cafe for Lincoln, Nebraska. If you're interested in having a game store, game pub in the city of Lincoln, Nebraska, you might want to support this Kickstarter. They're looking to build a game store there. We have the Long Rest Tabletop Games and Coffee Shop in Stoke-on-Trent. This is in the UK. If you live in the Stoke-on-Trent, which is somewhere in the UK, sounds outside of Londonish, but possibly near the Thames River, with my little knowledge of what I remember of London and how it's laid out. So this is a game shop, game pub being built in the Stoke-on-Trent area. So if you live in the UK, okay, oh, here we go. It's in Staffordshire. Stoke-on-Trent is in Staffordshire, UK. Say that 5 times fast. So if you live in that area of the UK and want to see a tabletop gaming and coffee shop open up, support this. Whew, I apologize. Obviously, it's very early in the morning and I cannot talk. We also have the crowdfunding for the Savage World Superpowers Companion. This is the second or third version of the Superpowers Companion. This is being kickstarted, crowdfunded on the Savage World's site directly and not being done through typical crowdfunding means, but directly through the Pinnacle Publishing. And it has just about reached its end, so if you want to support it, and if you're a fan of Savage Worlds like I am, and the Savage World superhero system being very good, better than anybody expected, better definitely than I expected, check this out. That appears to be it for the Kickstarter's crowdfunding of this week. We have no information yet on when the crowdfunding Kickstarter for the S&D20 products will be, or even if there will be one. We have no information on the playtesting. We just know they're coming out, as well as the Marvel Universe role-playing game. We know that's coming out sometime in 2022, but other than that, we have no information on the beta testing Kickstarter for that either, except they're out there. And in a final bit of news that has absolutely nothing to do with kickstarting or crowdfunding, apparently from the set of the upcoming Dungeons & Dragons movie, Justice Smith has been heard to say that the movie is action-packed and funny as hell. So it's sounding like an adventure comedy, or just he finds it funny. I mean, some comedy in a Dungeons & Dragons role-playing game movie sort of is necessary. The tongue-in-cheek, sort of fourth wall humor. But if it's just going to be an action comedy, I don't know if it works. Being a Dungeons & Dragons movie, you got to have obviously some levels of terror, some levels of what the characters do matter, and what could happen to the characters could be devastating to truly capture the feel of a Dungeons & Dragons adventure. Especially with Hugh Grant playing a villain named Forge. The more we know about this movie is that we still don't know anything about this movie. But hopefully we're not going to be disappointed. So that's it for the crowdfunding kickstarting news. I like the fact that more and more people are asking you to support their game stores, and we're getting back to physical game shops and the return of physical game shops. None of these really sound that interesting to me. It just feels like more of the same 5e stuff. More of the same stuff. I mean, Gravemire is a role-playing game set in monster-infested 1890s Louisiana bayou. I mean, is that the future of the product line? Just extremely specific niche games, hoping that there is some rabid desire for a role-playing game set in 1890s Louisiana or the Minnesota coal mine as we talked about last week, we do have 3 things coming for Mothership, which is a name we haven't heard from a while, so that's interesting. Other than that, nothing really stands out. I do, again, like seeing the crowdfunding for actually physical spaces. Hopefully we will get more and more people in the physical role-playing game world and out of the computers. And will game with me over at Sus Games and Anime here in Ventura. If you appreciate this content, let me know. If any of these sound like product you want to get, head on over to your friendly local game store, that's Sus Games and Anime here in Ventura, and ask them to look into it for you. If you haven't subscribed to my vlog yet, please subscribe and help me hit the legendary 1,000 subs. Till next time, stay warm, stay dry, stay healthy, stay happy, stay off my land, and I will talk to you later.